Thanks. I'm so glad.
It's no problem. So when adapting the novel into a series, what unique challenges and opportunities did you encounter to put together Black Cake, the series?
Well, the challenges were many. It takes place all over the world. It takes place over like 50, 60 years. So I think the first challenge was finding the right location. And we chose to film in Portland, Jamaica, where the book is actually set. But it is not a place where a ton of movies and TV shows are filmed. So the infrastructure needed to be updated, but we much preferred to shoot with actual Jamaican people on our crew and our cast and our background artists to shooting somewhere else that was just more convenient. But it was challenging. I mean, the roads are challenging, and just bringing huge film crews and equipment and boats. I mean, it was crazy, but it looks gorgeous, and I'm so proud of what's on screen. And the money is there; you can look at it on the screen. We're actually in Jamaica, and then casting a series with multiple timelines where characters are multiple ages, and you have to either age them up with makeup or cast two different actors for Covey / Eleanor. That was the biggest challenge. Number one, it was find Covey, who is our Covey, and then we'd find our Eleanor, and finding Mia, scouring the world to find this girl who could play 16, 18, 21, and who knows beyond season one what ages she'll play. Was not hard, was not easy. And also being true to casting, she's Chinese and her father is Black and Panamanian. So being true to casting there. And then for Eleanor, casting someone who looks like Mia, who is a very unique looking person, but who can act. And both of them, I mean, that was, priority one, the actors with the gravitas. And both of these amazing women really just broke our hearts. And it was so clear when we tested them that this was Covey and this was Eleanor. And I'm so grateful to them because they're the soul of the show.
I was gonna say, like, what was the moment where you were just like, "This is our Covey, like, this is it."
For me, I mean, it was like immediate for me. When our casting director Aisha sent her tape, I was just like, something just happens. The same thing happened with me on Women of the Movement with Adrienne Warren. You just see a tape and there's just like this spiritual connection, and then adding an accent and aging, on top of all of it, and they just did it. But with Mia, it was really the first tape she saw, because she had to do multiple auditions, screen tests. But I knew that she was Covey. There were other amazing actors who we met, so many amazing young actors from all over the world. But I never doubted. I was like, this is her. No, I was like, if anybody's gonna have disagree with me, there's gonna be a fight, but no one did.
Okay, Black Cake looks into themes of identity, culture, and personal growth. Which aspects of these themes did you find most captivating to explore and translate to visual medium?
The identity was what drew me in personally. I think it's something everyone can relate to, whether you are a mixed race girl from a rural community like Covey is, which that's for me, it spoke to me personally. I'm a mixed race woman with a mixed race child. I grew up in a very small community like Covey and always felt like an outsider and didn't really feel like I belonged, even though I did, because I had lived there my whole life. So that journey for Covey connected to me personally, and also just someone who is Jamaican and Chinese. If you speak to people from Jamaica, that's no surprise. There are all kinds of, there's diversity in Jamaica. But for me, being so very Midwestern and American, I wasn't taught anything about the islands in high school or college. And so learning about this specific community and the Chinese Jamaican culture and this amazing young woman as our hero, I just was like, there's no character like this on television ever or in a movie. And in this, I want to take this journey with her. It's an epic journey. It's a globe-trotting journey. So I wanted to be the person to protect the character. And I wanted to do an elevated premium mystery about identity with, people of color and queer people as the main characters, rather than supporting characters or as part of a backdrop of a postcard. Like I really wanted to, and that was Black Cake. Like there's nothing else like it. And when it breaks your heart and it moves you and it does all those other things. So I hope I answered your question, but the identity specifically, that's what just I locked into when I read the book for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, I really appreciate the fact that you displayed the different variations and cultures that there are on Jamaica Islands. Because a lot of times you're just seeing like black, and that's it. I'm like, there's diversity on there. It's an island. People go there. They come
Yeah.
through, pass through. So I
Right.
really appreciate that. Music plays a big part in Black Cake. I can really dig it. Um, how did you go about selecting the music and songs to match the experience that the audience going to have watching the series?
I am Music is very important to me. I have very strong opinions about music. I write songs into scripts so that I don't have any issues and people say we can't afford it. Like when it comes to the time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you like 6 months in advance, this is what the song I want. Lilac Wine by Nina Simone is a song I heard for the first time. My husband actually, we were playing Christmas music and it came on like Pandora or something. And of course, I know who Nina Simone is. I had never heard Lilac Wine. And it spoke to me when I was writing the pilot script. I was like, the lilac is such an important piece in the book and her aversion to lilac. I'm like, this is perfect for that end moment, which was executed so beautifully by Natalia, by Stuart, our DP, and by Mia, our amazing young Covey. It just played perfectly, it timed perfectly. Bob Dylan's All the Tired Horses in episode 3, that is a song I've been trying to get into a show for a long time. I wanted it on my last show and we didn't have enough money. And I listened to that song on repeat when I was filming my last show to the driving through Mississippi. And that ending, I wrote that as well into the script, the end of episode 3, and it also worked out beautifully. Girl from North Country in episode 7, that I just wanted to find a place. I love that song. And I wanted for that placement, I didn't want something super heavy and melodramatic because what had just happened was very heavy and devastating. And I wanted something a little melancholy to take us out. So the music, it's so specific. The choices are very intentional, very thoughtful. And then our score by Adam Taylor, who's a genius, it elevates everything you see on screen. And it's not, I think to me, why I loved working with Adam is I said, I don't want it to be what people are going to expect the score is going to sound like. I feel like people are going to expect it to sound like you're on an island vacation. I'm like, let's not do that. Like, let's be cinematic. Let's surprise them. If something really, really heavy is happening, let's not have really heavy music. So the music, I'm glad you reacted to it because every single song, and you'll see in the finale, there are some really cool song selections from some amazing Black artists, female artists in the finale. I'm so excited. I don't want to ruin the moments, but I got almost everything I wanted, every single song I wanted in the show. So it was very exciting.
I just thought to myself, man, she must have spent a lot of time trying to get these songs in there. They're very impactful songs, and they contribute to the anticipation of the next episode. That's what it did for me, anyway.
Great.
Uh, how did you develop the character Lynn, Kobe's father? Because there has to be a perfect balance of him having these issues and trying to take care of his daughters. What was your approach to that character?
Thank you for asking that. It's been a minute since I thought about this, but that is a bit of a departure from the book, and maybe not departure, but we had to excavate a little bit more of his heart in the series, because reading about somebody versus watching a human being portray them, it's just a different experience, because you can imagine all kinds of things when you're reading, but when you have an actor about a living, breathing body saying these words that are, sometimes the dialogue is rough. I felt that it was really important that this character, this father, that even though he makes some very, very messed up choices, that we understood why. Ultimately, you might not understand it in episode 1. By episode 3, you'll understand it a little bit more. You won't agree with it, but that he was just in this, very, very impossible situation. And at the time, child brides and arranged marriages, in that it was commonplace. but it's just harder with our present day brains and consciousness to watch that, especially this young, amazing, vibrant girl like Covey. So to me, within the pilot script, and then when we brought in a writer's room, I just said I want to humanize Lynn as much as possible, and to have this lead, a Chinese father of this little Black girl, which is when have we really seen that on a show? And so I really wanted to just do that character justice by showing the many layers rather than making him a villain, which I think that you could easily go that way. And he just isn't that. There's more to him, and there's more to him beyond even season 1 that we don't know. And Simon Wan, who plays Lynn, he has so many ideas about the Lynn origin story and like what he did in between, like in all these years, whenever he was away. So there's so much more to go with him. But I really wanted the audience I wanted them to empathize with him, even though it's hard to sometimes. But I hope by the end of the season 1 that they do understand a little bit more.
I think they will. Sasha did. It kind of broke my heart, his origin story.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow. So throughout the series.
Oh, sorry, just last question, just for time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, last question. Okay, here we go. Let me see which one I wanted to get. So how do you balance the past of Covey with Benny and Byron's experiences? How did you do that? What was your approach?
Well, I wanted to be a little more surprising in that I didn't want to do, parallel stories in the same episode about the same theme. So, for instance, in episode 3, we see that Covey experiences, discrimination at work, to put it lightly. And then later, before and after, we realize Byron is experiencing some of the same things, the tokenism. And we try not to be on the nose about it. And I like to just weave it. And when the story is telling me I need to tell that story versus like, okay, in episode 3, we tell this story, all Benny, Byron, and Covey, all the same story. That's just not the way the show is. And also the nonlinear nature of the show, and that sometimes we won't see Covey for a while, or we won't see Benny or Byron for a while, but it's all connected. It's all mapped out meticulously. So I think just making it clear that, Benny also, by learning everything that her mother went through, it affects Benny in present day. And even though it might not be in the same episode that she learns it, we understand by the choices she makes throughout the course of season 1 that what we saw in episode 1 and 2 affects Benny in episode 4, for instance. So I just wanted to play with time and point of view and perspective rather than doing it in a more traditional, like formulaic way where it's the same in every episode. And we always have a flashback story. We always have a present day story. I wanted to just keep the audience awake and interested and surprise them.
Definitely, they will be awake. I'm already like trying to hold myself from not telling people anything, and letting them know this is a must-watch series. So thank you for providing us with this beautiful TV show that we need currently, and hope to see some more. Hopefully,
thank you so much.
Put up some more work for us, please.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye.